Hi, everyone. While we're waiting to get live at 2 p.m., I'd always like to come on a couple minutes early just to tell people what's going on and keep everybody in the loop. The New Sources magazine is going very well. We're getting lots of articles from different people, and we really look forward to getting even more. So with that in mind, if you look at the upcoming NAUI talk sessions, we have a great topic. I bumped the Plan Your Next Season to the next session, and I added in one, how to write an article, because I did have a few people saying, boy, I'd really like to contribute to the Sources magazine, because again, it's a members magazine written by members for members with your photos, your articles, etc. So the next session, we're actually going to talk about how to write an article, and that not only for NAUI Sources, of course that, but for your local newspapers, for other venues that you can have locally. So we're going to try to make it a kind of a writing session, but really a get it done format where it's easy to follow. Everybody can get success with it. So I really look forward to that particular session. Without further ado, I'm going to get started today and get going. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another session of NAUI Talk. Today's talk, we're going to have a wonderful discussion, and it's going to be about improving your bottom line. Improving your bottom line may mean many things to many people. But here it's about teaching courses and being successful and having longevity to be in business year to year. Of course, we try to cater this to such a way that it fits people throughout the world in their different countries, because now he's worldwide. In addition, I want to make sure that this is unique and works for instructors that are independent, for facilities such as stores and charter boats, and then also for the professional educators out there. So profit may mean something to different people, but we're going to approach it in a slightly different way. Today's, you're going to be able to talk about it and feel comfortable about making sure that your bottom line is where it needs to be. And that's my goal. What is your bottom line and how can you affect it? To do this, we're going to hit a couple of different topics. First of all, we're going to define what that bottom line means. Bottom line could mean many different things to many people, but I'm going to narrow it down. We're going to look at ways you can help that bottom line. There's really only two ways to do it. Bring up sales, bring down costs. But we're going to look at those with some ideas in them, and then look at how planning is going to work for you. Of course, we're going to leave you with some tasks that you can work on and a call to action so you can succeed. As always, I always say put the questions in the question and answer area. Again, depending on how you get your screen set up, it's right up there or right down there. You'll see a Q&A button. Click on that, type your question. I'm going to answer them as we go and make sure I get to all of them. I do look into the task areas besides that, for instance, when you make notes or ideas like that. So the chat area. But I prefer to put them in the question and answers because I got a little box just off to the side so I can see them as they come. Okay. So without further ado, we're going to continue on and learn about increasing that bottom line. To do that, let's talk about now, without looking at accounting terms and getting really, detail oriented on it. The general purposes is that your bottom line means profit. If you're not making profit, you're not going to be here next year. Generally speaking, when we look at our accounting reports, it's at the end. You've got your costs, you've got sales, you look at them all together. This isn't an accounting session, not that I don't know accounting, but this is really a session on how you can affect sales and profitability. And you definitely would want to work with your accountant. If you do not have an accountant, then you look at it the best you can. Of course, we're trying to cater to all levels. So different people, some people may have a whole fleet of accounting people in a department, and some people may have a part-time person on the side. Some people have their tax. Once you've paid all your bills, once you've paid your taxes, once you've paid yourself, that's one of your bills, what's left is profit. If you don't make profit, you won't be there next year. You can't just make ends meet. Over a period of time, this profit not only keeps us in business, but lets us know how we can work on our business, how we can improve our business, and how we can make adjustments to be even more successful and to grow and build. It's the goal of every instructor is to keep teaching. An independent instructor still needs to make their ends meet and be profitable. Otherwise, they won't be doing it for the future. But not all of us are in business. Some of us are professional educators or in nonprofit organizations. They're going to go, whoa, 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 whoa. I don't want to hear that profit word. Well, to be honest, you're still using that word. We disguise it under other things, such as budget. Okay. So if you have a budget in your department or you have a budget in your organization, somebody's done the accounting for you. They've looked at the long-term plan of the organization, the profitability and sustainability. That's a nice word that they like to use in nonprofits, the sustainability of your organization. That's a fiscal sustainability. When we look at that, you basically have an amount of money you can spend. After you pay all your bills, there should be something left. Okay, so that's really the same idea as profit. It's what's left at the end. And it's not any different when you substitute the word. The idea being is you shouldn't spend more than you're making, and you need to have enough to invest. And that's what profits are for, is to invest in growth. So if you have budget left over, you can invest it in being able to grow as an organization. Of course, all organizations have their own rules on how you do that, but that should be part of your budgeted ideas. If you're spending everything and then some, you'll never be able to forecast any budgets to grow. Again, as we look to the future, the tracking and numbers give us ideas of where we can improve. If you don't have an accountant, get an accountant. Doesn't matter how big or how small you are, they're the scorekeepers that we absolutely need to understand the profitability, sustainability, and growth of our organizations. But without further ado, let's look at tricks and ideas and tips and how we can make this more profitable or more budget conscious for your organization. Option one is always increasing sales. If you can increase sales, that solves a lot of things for a lot of people. But there's more to it than that. There's a silly saying that we use, I've heard it many times in Canada. I don't know if it equates to everybody else, but one silly guy was like, how do you make 1 million geese? You get 1 million geese and sell them for $1 a piece. That's how you make $1 million. And the joke of that is you never make any money because there's no secret to that. There's costs, and you got to buy the geese, you got to buy the whatever. Okay, it's an old saying in my area, which may or may not translate. If you want to be successful, you have to be profitable. So when we're looking at things, there's really a couple of ways we're going to do it. You increase your prices. Everybody goes, well, hello, if I could increase my prices, I wouldn't be listening today, Bill. Correct. And I know we can't always increase our prices. Sometimes we can, sometimes we can't. But what I'd like to talk about is different ways we can do these things. Now, if you look, go back to previous NAUI talks, such as the mini 3 marketing or the continuing education, we've talked about ways you can increase your sales without doing increases in pricing. Okay, today I'm going to talk about other ways to do it. For instance, one of the golden standards that has been out there for many years, even back when I was going to school, is organizations like McDonald's. Fabulous for doing add-on sales. Fabulous for getting you to purchase a little extra. One of those comments, would you like fries with that? Or would you like to supersize? I know they're not doing that anymore, but they were. Basically upsizing the size of your beverage or your fries, or would you like to add some fries? Those kind of comments. And that's called suggestive selling. And suggestive selling in a retail environment could add a 25% increase in sales. 25%. Wow. I'm not going to say it's going to work 25% for you, but it could. I think everybody that came in and asked, boy, I'm here to buy a new mask, sell them something that goes with a mask. A snorkel's an obvious one, perhaps an extra snorkel keeper, perhaps a mouthpiece, perhaps some anti-fog. There's lots of options. Maybe a new case to go with that mask if it doesn't include one. So there's lots of options out there. And by doing those suggestive selling, you could actually increase your sales quite significantly and provide a better service to your customer. In addition, establish yourself as an expert in the field, because you can discuss different types of, just using, for example, anti-fog. You can discuss different ones. Some people say, oh, I don't like anti-fog because I hate that smell of Well, they're probably looking at an alcohol-based one and say, well, this other one doesn't work that way. I use one that's called Frog Spit. I personally think it's a great one. It doesn't smell really bad. It smells nice. I guess in the era of COVID, there's no spitting in your mask, So it answers a lot of those questions. And I don't want to go into too much because you're all experts in that field, but just give you an idea of how you could add some anti-fog to the mass purchase. Somebody comes in for an air fill, you could still add anti-fog to that purchase. Just think about it, okay? So a straight 2% or 5% across the board may not be possible. If it was, you'd probably do it and we wouldn't have to talk. Other ways you can do this, you can get creative. Get creative. Think outside the box. What value-added services can I do? One thing I do is, again, dealing with Amazon in my market, we have to bring a lot of things into Canada. We don't have as many wholesalers in Canada. We do have some, but they bring it from the United States generally. So sometimes the costs get prohibitive. So what happens is by the time I get it here, what it costs me to get it here in Canada, when it comes from the manufacturer to the distributor to the Canadian distributor to me, I get people can buy it off Amazon better price than I can. That's a problem. That's a big problem. But and people say, well, you can't compete. Yes, you can. They don't do service. So if I sell a BC or I sell a reg, I include some service. How you do it's up to you. But again, I'm not trying to price compete because I know I'm not going to win anyway. I'm charging more, delivering more, including more. I tell them, hey, when you take your regs out, I've already pre-tuned them. I've set them up. This is what I do. I don't give them how to do it, just that I did it, make it sound very professional because it is. I don't just hand them a set of regs. I've already put on the bench and made sure these are ready for you. Bring it back after 10 dives, and I'm going to make sure that it's still on tune, and I'm going to give it a tweak if it needs it. And at the end of this season, before the beginning of next season, you get your annual service included. There's 3 reasons why you want to buy your regulators from me. You know your costs on that. You know how you can make that more profitable. And if you don't, then look into it. Talk to your manufacturers, right? If you're not a reg tech, well, then don't do that one. Do something else. And there's lots of options. I hate the word free. Don't use the word free. Free is worth nothing. It means nothing. So don't use that word. Use value added or words. Now, don't use the words value added, but things like I include 5 fills with a tank. Well, it gives them 5 reasons to come back. So if they're buying a scuba tank from me, I could include 5 scuba tank fills. There's a reason to come back 5 occasions where I can sell them some anti-fog or whatever it is they're looking for. Or it could just be while they come, I'd establish me as a level of expert that they know they can trust on local dive sites, local guided dives, other equipment purchases, and hopefully on service, because service is where I can win. That's my big plus here in Canada. Value added. Think about that. Of course, you can't always increase the price. Sometimes you need to decrease prices or decrease your costs. I don't like decreasing prices because if prices go down, you have to fight to get them back up. I think in many areas, the prices are too low to start with. So increase the price, increase the sales, or decrease the cost. Well, how could you decrease costs? Now, again, we're NAUI, we're a dive training agency. So I'm going to use an example here that's training, not equipment like I did a minute ago. On the training side, I could reduce my costs. I love lecturing. I'm sort of doing it right now. And I think a lot of us as NAUI professionals are all proper, well-educated teachers. We know how to lecture, we know how to teach. And it's hard to let go of the lecturing side for some people. But maybe, just maybe, you can find a hybrid way to do it. And I'm not saying how you teach, that's up to you how you teach. But I know, again, using my example, I'm here in Canada, and different countries have the same issues that I do. By the time I import physical product, the cost sometimes becomes prohibitive. So I've switched to digital product. First of all, I don't need to stock in advance. Why? Because when I order it off our website, it's here in a second. Boom. As soon as I hit purchase, hey, I have my digital code that I can then activate for my student or get them to activate. So my inventory cost goes to 0. Matter of fact, it goes to the positive side because if you're paying by credit card, you don't have to pay until your credit card bill is due. So you could actually purchase product, have no inventory, and not have to pay for it for, depending on your cycle of credit card, up to maybe 30 days. Meanwhile, the student paid you today. That increases profit. It increases your bottom line because it decreases your costs. In addition, digital product has no shipping. That's the second one. In addition, a digital product doesn't have any tariffs or border issues. That's three of them. I could go on, but I think I've already established that perhaps that's one avenue that you could use to reduce your costs. And people say, whoa, 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 I still want to lecture. You can do that. Just because you're ordering the digital package with e-learning and a digital book does not mean you cannot lecture to your students. I do a hybrid. I get them to do, I get them to do the e-learning. In addition, I also do my lecturing. I give them more. Just like when I was selling the regs a minute ago, I gave more. I don't have to price compete because I'm giving them more. Yes, those people are less expensive, but they're cheaper too. That's kind of a harsh comment, but it's true. I'm going to charge you more, but I'm going to deliver more. You will learn from the e-learning. You will learn from my wisdom and experience that I've got through years of teaching scuba and scuba diving. I've got thousands of dives I can bring you in experience to help you find a passion and the skills to scuba dive. And it's an easy sell. I've reduced my costs, but that doesn't mean I reduce the level of teaching and skills that I transfer over. How you do that, that's a teaching point. That's up to you. I'm talking marketing and sales. But I've cut my costs drastically. In addition, I'm not forecasting, gee, do I need 20 of this course, 10 of that course, 5 of this course, or am I guessing all of a sudden somebody walks in the door and I've only got 2 rescue diver packets here and there's a group of 4 of them. Oh gosh, what do? I start them without the books. I got to share. That doesn't show professionalism. It doesn't show that you're the authority in your area. But if they go, when I'm digital, and they go, yep, we'd like to sign up 4 of us today, go, not a problem. Let's get you set up right now. Right now. That shows expertise, professionalism, and there's a reason why they're paying you. Okay. In addition, there's lots of other ways you can reduce costs. Take a look at the courses you offer and do some reevaluating. What can you include? What should you include with them? Just sticking with some easy examples right now. Did you know about our NAUI app? Our NAUI app has tables and dive planning right into it. So do I need to order in plastic tables? That's your decision, not mine. I've gone with, you know what, the e-learning includes it, a digital copy of the book, which they can print or read on screen. More and more people are reading on screen anyways. I'm old school. I want it on paper. Great. Print it off. No problem. They can print it themselves. It's their cost or not. I guarantee if they print it, they're going to read it. If you're giving them a printed copy, that doesn't mean they're going to read it. How many times have we seen textbooks that the back spine hasn't even been creased or broken yet? They haven't read that book. With e-learning, I know that they've done it because there's no other way around it. With their digital book, if they print it off, that's on them. They will read it. I don't have to do it. In addition, if they print off their table, they're going to use it. But I can also, and I've got my cell phone handy, I could pull it up and I could show them where the app is, how to download it. There's the planning, there's a table, everything's in there, get them using the app. In addition, of course, their certification will be there, their digital certification. I do digital plus. So it means they get their digital card plus a plastic certification card. That's just my choice. That's what I like. But it's a way to look at what I can bundle in a course or not. I've reduced my costs, made sure they had all the supplies I need, and there's things that I can print locally that I produced or that I can produce through NAUI's resources that I'm allowed to reproduce, and becomes very profitable for me. Matter of fact, we've got a whole new initiative that I'll be announcing shortly on that. So when you're teaching, you can also look at what gear you include versus not. Some people have always made their students buy mast snorkel fins. Some people have never made them buy mast snorkel fins. That's your decision. However, look at the profitability of it. Look at how you sell, rent, buy anything that goes with courses, because that's where you may be able to reduce your costs. Another way to reduce costs is by looking at strategic partnerships. If you're paying for the pool to teach people, perhaps we can reduce our costs by sharing the pool with somebody that uses it in a different way than I do. For instance, I don't need a lot of the shallow end after the first couple of sessions. After that, I really don't need the deep end. Well, maybe I can share it with somebody who only needs the shallow end. There's an opportunity. There's some bad matches that wouldn't work, but there's some good matches that could work. So think of ways you can reduce the costs. And we're going to talk about how to get there. Internships is another one, whether they be a dive master or somebody who's looking to become an instructor. There's lots of opportunities you can take someone from, whether it be in high school, college, university, retraining program. There's lots of opportunities out there where you can have an internship where you have somebody assist you. It brings your costs down labor-wise and also gives you better coverage in both your classes as well as if you have a shop. So there's lots of opportunities you can do there. And it's a really great idea to look at internships, okay? You know, this, it's really a plan. You got to start somewhere and plan. How do I plan it? Well, check your accounting records. If you don't have accounting records, get your accounting records in order. That's the first thing, because you don't know if you're making money or not. You don't know if you're attaining budget or not. Chances are, if you're in a nonprofit and you've got a budget, you've got the accounting all in order because you need to. The more often it's the small business or the independent instructor may not have all their accounting in order till the end of the year when they hand it to their tax accountant and go, here's my box, can you figure this out for me? Well, that's no way to know whether you're making money or not. By the time you find out if you're making or lost, it's the next fiscal year. Not a great strategic operation. So what you want to do is keep your records in order. Again, this is not an accounting lesson, so we won't get into how you do that. But from there, if you're looking at your accounting records, it's really easy to see where things fall. Where are your sources of income? Not just income. I sold 10,000. That's great, but what did you sell? Right? Look at the sales. What am I actually selling? Where are the bigger numbers? I like to look at them in percentages of sales. Same on costs, but the percentage. Out of my sales, 25% comes from this, 50% comes from that. Well, that gives me a couple of opportunities. First of all, if 50% of my sales are coming from one particular area, it's clear to me that I certainly want to keep focusing on that area because I don't want to lose that 50%. That's pretty much a given. Most people can figure that out pretty quick. But a real secret in increasing your sales or decreasing your costs is look at the small numbers too. If I'm only selling 5% of a category of my total sales, for instance, let's say that your reg service that you provide people is only 5% of your total sales. You got to start looking and say, is it worth my while to even have a service bench? Should I be farming this out? Because if my technicians are the I'm bringing in, it's not worth it. Or here's the real opportunity. How can I increase that reg service in order to pay for that service bench and technician? And even if you're the technician, if you're standing in front of that bench, you should be getting paid. If you're not, there's something seriously wrong here. So look at the small numbers. Why am I only bringing in 5% of my income from that? For instance, it may be a course. You may strictly teach courses, and perhaps you don't have barely any rescue courses. Out of my sales, I do, maybe you're going to do 70% scuba diver, open water diver, 28% advanced diver, and 2% all others. You got to ask, well, what am I doing? Why are they stopping at advanced? And look at the reasons they're stopping. Ask people why they're not taking rescue or master diver or underwater photography or a lot of other ones. And I'm going to stop right there on the underwater photography. A lot of organizations just let anybody with the camera bring it out. First of all, read your standards. Second of all, is that a good idea? If they haven't mastered their buoyancy, should they be wandering around with their GoPro or other cameras? I don't allow it at my dive site unless you've been certified in photography. Now, I don't say it has to be with us, but of course, the ones that are coming up our pipe, they're already learning through us. Who are they going to take their photography course to? Matter of fact, I give them a coupon. Whoa, I see you got a camera. Here, instead of giving them a lecture why they can't bring their camera, I give them a lecture on how they can bring it. Oh, I'm so excited you could bring that camera. Here's a coupon. I know you're still on this course, and don't worry, when we do your open waters, I'll have one of our dive masters take some pictures and video for you. But you really want to use that camera, that's awesome. Here's your path. Here's how you do it. Here's when you learn. Here's how you learn. And here's a few dollars off to learn. Then I can teach underwater photography. There's a concept. It increases my photography, where before all other courses were only 2%, I'm now going to bring up that percentage. It's a great opportunity to increase sales. That didn't decrease costs, that increased sales. Did I do a sales increase across the board? No. Did I charge more? No. I promoted. Would you like fries with that? Yeah, great idea. And of course, when we're looking at percentages, don't just look at sales, look at costs. If one item's costing me 50% of everything I do, I better look at why it's cost me 50% and see whether that's appropriate. Now, if all my training was 50% of all sales, well, that's probably great because that's what we do. On the other hand, you may look at it and that the training costs are 90%. You go, well, that doesn't make sense. Or you may look at your compressor costs are 90%. I used to farm out our air fills because I thought it was made sense. And then I stopped and I did exactly this a few years back and going, that's wackadoodle. That makes no sense. It just makes no sense. What made more sense was we brought our own compressor. As much as it costs, we're not spending thousands of dollars, Canadian dollars a year, thousands paying for air fills. We're now billing for air fills, and our own air fills we're not billing out. So our cost on ours, we still have to pay for ours because we bought the compressor, we pay for the maintenance, the air quality, all the rest of it. So we have costs for our fills, but instead of paying this, we pay this for our cost. But because we're selling over here, it brings our cost down a bit more because that profit now becomes there. So we're looking at both the sales and the costs in percentages at the same time. So look at the sales, look at the costs, and look at the combined and see whether there's any synergies or any value there which you could reduce. Makes a lot of sense, right? And then while you're doing it, you can look and say, is something profitable? Some things, if it's not profitable, increase the price. Like you're not making money selling an item, don't waste your time. I don't believe in lost leaders. Some people do. Oh, it's okay. I can lose money selling air fills because people are coming in my store. That makes no sense. Because every time they come in to get an air fill, does that mean they buy something else? No. Reward people for buying other things with air fill. That makes sense. I can live with that one. But everything should be profitable on its own. And if you're giving an incentive away, make it a profitable one. Very important information. You can sell things for more and actually make money. There's a philosophy which I heard many years ago is called up or out. And in that case, I mean, you may say I have 1,000 people buying this from me, but I'm barely making ends meet. Well, you know what? If I increase the price, that's the up, I'll actually be profitable, but I may lose 200 people. You never lose that many, but say you did. So out of 1,000 people, I now only have 800, but all 800 I'm making money on. So instead of breaking even or losing money, I actually make more profit with 800 people than I did with 1,000. So don't look for the whole market. Some of the market isn't the ones you want. If they're not paying their bills, if they're not prepared to pay for professional quality, you may not want them. That's the up or out, up or out. Raise the price or do a decrease in costs. That value, that profit, that budget must go up, or that service must go out. And that's and I mean out as in out the door. We don't provide it anymore, or we don't provide it to you anymore. Sounds harsh, but you're in business. Whether you're an independent instructor, a store, a charter boat, or a professional educator at any institution, You need to make your budget. You need to make your profit, or you will not be here. This is very important. And look at things. And if things aren't selling, clear them out, sell them off, get rid of them, free up your cash. If it isn't making you money, don't waste your time. This is important stuff. So what's really important is to sit and plan this. Look at the numbers. Look at them as a total. Look at them as percentages of your total, and look at what it's doing to your bottom line. Is this adding money or taking money? And sometimes you'll find reducing what you offer may be more profitable. Focus. And your answer is yours. There's no one answer here. Should I increase my sales, or should I reduce my costs? Or should I do a combination of the two? I don't like reading the screen, so when I do, that's usually a clue that's important. Should I focus? What focus should you have? Sometimes you can be more profitable with less sales. We talked about that a minute ago. And do something different. I don't have to do what everybody else is doing. If I have 10 competitors and none of us are making money, why would I follow them? If 10 people are walking off a cliff, do I want to follow them off the cliff? No, let them walk off the cliff. I'm going to walk a different direction. I actually want to make money. I actually want to be in business next year. Even if you're a club, you need to make budget. You need to make a profit, or you will not be here. Oh, I just dive because I enjoy having fun with my friends, and I have scuba friends, and I really look forward to my Tuesday night dive. I do, actually. That's exactly the truth. I got to dive tonight. Yay. Tuesdays are great. We get NAUI talk and a dive. Whew. Yeah. But what's important is if I want to play with the friends next year, we still have to be able to pay for insurance, pay for our space, pay for insurance, pay for our compressor. Boy, that adds up. So we need to build some things out. So there's a business side to the social. Clubs need to be in business too. Don't give it away. Think outside that box. Be creative. Don't do what everybody else is doing. I have competitors in my area, and good, I'm glad they're doing what they're doing, because that gives me the opportunity to do something different. And we're winning. We're doing really well. So there's always that call to action. What can you do? What should you do? And I'm going to give you 3, but you got to pick 3 of your own. You need to do something today. You need to do something each week, and you need to do something each month. Here's a couple of ideas. Go through your accounting and determine where your company or organization's strengths lie and where your weaknesses lie. That's those numbers and percentages I talked. Go through the numbers today. Today is the right day. What am I actually making money on? What am I not? Next week, get rid of stuff that isn't making you money. I put an example on the screen of a snorkel, right? If you find nobody's buying purple, or everybody's buying purple, adjust your prices. If you got a dozen clear ones that aren't going there, and there's going to go yellow. We all know they go mouthpieces, silicones go yellow over time. Get rid of them, sell them off. You probably only paid, I'm going to make up numbers, but say you paid 20 and you're selling them for 30. Well, put them off at 20. Just get rid of them off at 22. Make the purple ones that everybody wants, and the blue one that everybody wants, make it the $35 one. Bring it up $5. Bring down $5, the one that nobody wants. It's a $10 spread. For $10, somebody's going to buy the clear one. It's just an idea. And you can do that next week. Every week, look at your products, look around. What's sitting on your shelves that you can move, right? Don't give them away. Find a creative way that people are going to want it, or include it. Oh, you're buying a new mask. Well, the clear one comes included. I didn't say give it. So the masks were, say, $75. Charge $95 that includes a snorkel. Oh, but I really want a purple one. No problem. Just pay the difference. And charge them a difference on it, right? Because the clear ones are 25, those are 35. Pay the extra 10, you get a purple snorkel. Some people will do it, some won't. Okay. And then within the month, look, I put down an idea of look for an intern. There's something you can do next month. Look for an intern. But you could also be just as simple as next month, I'm going to look for one way to reduce my cost per month, one way, and put it in place. So today what we looked at was how to improve our bottom line, whether it be a profit or whether it be a budget, ways to increase those sales, ways to decrease your costs, creative ideas that help bring those solutions in place, and some goals where you can take time to know what's going on and make that planning. Hopefully that's helped you. I try to always keep these NAUI talks to 30 minutes to 45 minutes tops, so we can answer people's questions as we go, which I did, and want to make sure that they're valuable for people. Remember, all the NAUI talks are all recorded, and I put them up on NAUI TV. If you go to youtube.com/NAUI TV, that's where you're going to find them. They're all there. I have some examples on the screen now, but that's just a few of the many. These are a series to help you to do well, succeed, and grow. I've tried to answer all the questions. If there's any more, that's great. If we end up in this session and tonight, tomorrow, you go, oh, I forgot, just drop me an email. Drop me an email. Bill, it's my name, Bill Doran, Marketing Director for NAUI Worldwide. Our emails at NAUI are quite simple. First letter of the first name, the last name at NAUI.org. So bdoran@NAUI.org. Send me an email. I'll get back to you. We're here to help. So looking forward again, and we did talk about what was coming up. These are the upcoming sessions. I hope you tune in and you have lots of fun learning on all of these sessions. But in the meantime, bye for now, and thank you for tuning in to another session of NAUI Talk.